Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's Tuesday, March 2nd. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by... With the vaccine rolling out in Thailand, a consortium of major inbound international tourism operators, including Minor Group, as well as the key hospitality association, Skull International Thailand, they've launched a campaign to reopen the country to international tourists by July 1st. A petition and statement issued by the group, campaigning under the theme #OpenThailandSafely, states that vaccines are the game changer and argues that July 1st is an appropriate date to reopen. They say because from now until then, tourists in potential source markets will be vaccinated, as well as many people in Thailand. It's enough time to make travel plans for both tourists and hotels and airlines. Still, they did admit that it would take at least a year before Thailand would see a large number of international tourists returning as before the pandemic. The whole thing is a petition signed by a host of CEOs from some of the biggest tourism operators in Thailand, including Minor International, Yana Ventures, Skull International, and so many more. Visit the link in the description to learn more. Thailand has also begun rolling out its vaccination program this week, and here in Phuket, the first injections of the Chinese-made Sinovac COVID vaccine began at Vashida Phuket Hospital, with medical personnel receiving the first shots. Making history was Vashida Hospital ear, nose, and throat specialist Dr. Sawachai Nawakitraktan, the first person on Phuket to be vaccinated for COVID-19. Phuket is making use of all 4,000 doses of this vaccine, which arrived yesterday morning on the island, and will be used to immunize several healthcare workers at hospitals across Phuket. Dr. Chalermpong Sukontapol, the director of Vashida Hospital, he said that the island will receive a total of 68,000 doses of the Sinovac vaccine in the coming months. Meanwhile, officials announced one new COVID death in Thailand today, a 92-year-old Thai man in Pathum Thani province who had several underlying conditions. 42 new COVID cases today, raising the total to 26,073. The death toll is now 84. 98% of total patients have recovered. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha yesterday defended the way police handled the anti-government rally in Bangkok on Sunday in front of the 1st Infantry Regiment Barracks, the King's Guard, insisting crowd control measures were in compliance with international standards. Riot police from the Metropolitan Police Bureau used tear gas and water cannons to block protesters from approaching the Prime Minister's residence in the barracks there. They also fired rubber bullets at the protesters during the clash. The MPB Commissioner, Police Lieutenant General Pukpong Pongpetra, admitted on Monday that rubber bullets were used to quell violence before the situation spiraled out of control. In defense of police actions, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said the protesters had advanced into police and restricted areas and assaulted police officers, so officers needed to respond to the situation. 33 people, 23 police, and 10 protesters were all confirmed injured during Sunday's rally, and 22 protesters were detained by police. The opposition Pheu Thai and Move Forward parties yesterday slammed the use of force against the protesters and called on police to follow international standard procedures in crowd control operations. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The Phuket Public Health Office, the PPHO, this morning announced that the haze over Phuket is gone, reporting readings from Air 4 Thai to support their claims. Yesterday, the Phuket News quoted officials as saying the dust was coming from Myanmar and Bangladesh, but it was incorrect and was coming from Surat Thani and Krabi provinces, brought on by winds coming from the southeast, and we apologize for reporting that error. Today, the PPHO reported that the haze is gone, but however, the Phuket News notes that the haze has only eased and it still remains hanging in the air over the island. Of note, the Worldwide Air Pollution Monitoring Portal, aqicn.org, which uses raw data from Thailand's Pollution Control Department, today they marked Phuket's air qualities as yellow/moderate. Regional Environment Office 15 Director Yongyut Panitangkul told the Phuket News that the air quality in Phuket had improved quickly because the wind changed direction, saying the haze came with the wind from nearby southern provinces. He encouraged people to download the air quality monitoring app Air 4 Thai, admitting, quote, "Sometimes the officials may not comprehensively publicize information to locals, so it is much easier to check by themselves." For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Phuket Extra, be right back after this. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. A mayoral candidate was shot dead in Ratchaburi province, while 6 others were also shot during a funeral at a temple there. The shooter was a fellow politician and the brother-in-law of the dead woman. He's already surrendered to police. The Niam Raksa clan in Ratchaburi have been in local politics for years, but it's taken a deadly turn now. Wanchat Niam Raksa, a council member of the Ratchaburi Obojo Provincial Administration Organization, he turned himself over to police this afternoon. The shooting happened at about 7 p.m. last night at Wat Takam in rural Ratchaburi. Mourners were sitting in the open prayer hall there when Wanchat opened a barrage of gunfire from behind the main Buddha image at the temple, sending people running, some hitting the ground to avoid getting shot. When it was all said and done, 4 people were wounded, 3 of them candidates for local municipal council Tambon Donsai, and 1 is a Kamnan, or local village headman. However, Varapon Niam Raksa, who was running for mayor of the municipality in the upcoming elections on March 28, she died at a local hospital later that night. Today at noon, Wanchat surrendered and was accompanied by the president of the Ratchaburi PAO. He explained to police that his wife, Jitlada, was running for mayor of Donsai municipality, and her main competitor in the March 28 election is Varapon, the same woman he shot and killed. It gets worse, as Varapon is also the shooter's sister-in-law, as she is married to Wanchat's elder brother, Chawalit, who is also a former member of the Ratchaburi PAO Council. He's now being charged with murder and attempted murder, among other weapons charges. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Thailand, the SEC, is backing off its draft plan to require a 1 million baht minimum annual income and other requirements for cryptocurrency investors, noting the draft was just meant to test public sentiment from stakeholders. A live talk about the hearing on the SEC's Facebook page will be rescheduled to tomorrow, 3 weeks earlier than the original schedule on March 24th, after the draft sparked a huge wave of public criticism within just a few hours of its announcement last week. The proposal drew backlash for its excessively high standards for crypto traders in Thailand, which would effectively bar people with low or middle incomes and trading experience from investing in cryptocurrencies. The cryptocurrency market in Thailand has transformed dramatically since 2018, when the Digital Assets Decree was first enacted. According to the SEC of Thailand, people who are investing in cryptocurrencies are mostly new investors who are not well informed and may not be ready to invest in high-risk, highly volatile assets. The Facebook Live hearing tomorrow will run from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and then also again on March 24th before the survey closes on March 27th. Thank you so much again for joining us today on Phuket Extra, brought to you by The Lyrics Below. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
คุณมองเห็นอะไรไหมครับถ้ามองไม่เห็นเดี๋ยวเราจะย้อนภาพให้ดูทีละมุมถ้ามองจากรถที่อยู่ด้านหน้าคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ตามมาด้วยความเร็วปกติถ้ามองจากคนที่นั่งอยู่ข้างทางคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ผ่านไปด้วยความเร็วปกติแต่ถ้ามองจากคนที่ขับรถตามหลังมอเตอร์ไซค์คันนี้มันติดไม่มีไฟท้ายก็เหมือนไม่มีคุณอยู่บนถนนตรวจสอบไฟท้ายให้ใช้งานได้อยู่เสมอ